Hey, it's Greg with the Jan Michael McClintock team right here in the greater Princeton area. And if you live in an affluent priced property, you're thinking about maybe selling your home, obviously the agent that you choose and the marketing plan that you choose will make a big difference on such a special home. What I want to talk to you about today is exactly how you can sell your home for the most amount of money, and more importantly, find a home that better fits your needs. Now, I actually have on with us here today, Jan Michael McClintock. How you doing today?
Good, Greg. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, with me being on your marketing team, I get to see a lot of this direct target marketing that you're using. And I think when you get into these higher priced houses, it really makes a big difference on how much that home's ultimately going to sell for. No question, when you're selling a luxury home, you've got to have a real estate agent that knows what they're doing, can net you as much as possible, but also understands the moving process. So, obviously the next home you move to is really what the contingency depends on, right? You're not going to sell it all unless you find the perfect home. So, Jan Michael, tell us first of all about the area that you serve. Where do you usually sell real estate?
Hey, Greg. So right now, primarily, I'm selling along Route 206 between Bridgewater and Princeton. There's a lot of luxury homes in this area, so that's my specialty. Love marketing them and selling them. So that's where I'm concentrated right now.
Very good. And I know there's a lot of people that would be moving for various reasons. So when you're selling your, what I like to call your trophy home, when you're selling that high end property, what's the next move? Maybe you're moving to a smaller home, a condo, maybe you're moving south. A lot of people would be retiring, 55 and older community.
Sure.
There's a lot of different solutions out there. And you really want to think about the game plan that you're putting in place and the person that's going to be representing you. So what I've done from our marketing department here is I've actually put together some slides that'll show you a really direct path that'll give you some clarity on what you and your family should do when selling your luxury priced property. So Jan Michael, with your permission, I'd like to show a little bit of our secret sauce here.
Sure, let's do it.
All right. So if you own a luxury priced home anywhere near the greater Princeton area, you've thought about maybe selling it. You might be upsizing or downsizing. I think you'll find this incredibly helpful. Let's jump right in. Okay, so we'll invest a few minutes of our time here to discuss selling a high-end property here in our area, as well as purchasing in the more affluent price ranges, because really both of them are going to be important for you to understand. Really what we want to talk about is if you're selling your home, the importance of getting top dollar for you when you are trying to sell that property. And of course, if you are buying in that luxury price range, we want to talk a little bit about finding that perfect property as well. So you're likely aware that some of the best luxury houses, they never make it to the open market. As you can imagine, if somebody's looking to sell their luxury property, many times they don't want it to be publicly listed. Neighbors find out, unqualified buyers coming through the home, that type of thing. So regardless if you're selling a home or buying a home in that higher price range, understand that a lot of that market never makes it out publicly. So when you're looking around, whether it be comparable sales or otherwise, sometimes it never even goes in the MLS. That's very important when you're looking to buy, because you're probably missing out on some of the best deals that are out there. So we'll talk a little bit about both. But when you're selling a home in the more affluent communities, it's crucial that you make the right choice on the marketer that you're hiring to sell the home. So of course, if you're hiring a real estate agent, you're not just hiring someone to list it. This is a professional marketer that should be investing a lot of money in order to get that property exposed to the right buyers. You're not just listing the property as you would with a traditional run-of-the-mill type house. Now, as you're likely aware, many agents are good at marketing themselves, but they're not good at marketing their houses. You can take a quick look at any marketing you see out there, and a lot of times a third of the ad is a picture of the real estate agent. They're not even marketing the house themselves. And additionally, some agents get lots of listings, but very few sales, because literally more than 50% of them never sell at all. You might be surprised. Here in our luxury real estate market, if you look at some of the properties that have been listed, there's a lot of people that are considered top listing agents, but they sell less than half of the properties that they list. Obviously, there's several reasons for that. Some of it may have to do with marketing, and some of it has to do with them just drastically overpricing the houses. So more than 50% of them don't sell. Now, one huge misconception is that the brokerage that someone is with actually matters. So, of course, there's top producers in every city throughout the United States, just as there is right here. But the brokerage they're with doesn't really matter because every single real estate is an independent contractor. So, even if you take some of the most well known brokerages from around the country, if they have 30 agents in that office, that would literally be 30 different marketing plans. If you met with all 30 agents, it would be completely different. Not one of them offers the exact same thing because everybody is an independent contractor with any given brokerage. As a matter of fact, in many cases, a lot of the brokerages around the United States, they have nothing to do with the marketing that's done on the individual properties that are listed. So what you want to look for is a competent real estate agent that understands that luxury real estate market, and more importantly, understand something called target marketing. And we'll talk about that in just a second here. But a big misconception that we see, and this is true really nationwide, is that a lot of people think they need to list with a certain brokerage rather than a certain marketing specialist or real estate agent. So, advertising budget out of that agent's pocket means more than anything when you're choosing your realtor. And then followed closely by them understanding target marketing. So two things you really want to look for is, first of all, do they understand target marketing? And then even more importantly, are they going to invest money out of their own pocket to get this exposed to the most opportune buyers? So, of course, right now we're just talking about selling a property. This stuff comes into play when you're buying a home as well. But sticking along the realm of selling a property, you've got to make sure you're choosing the right person. And it certainly has nothing to do with fame. It has to do with credibility, authority, and ability. And those are three things you really want to be looking for. So the advertising budget matters, and understanding target marketing is important as well. And ultimately, what it comes down to is marketing this property for the highest and best use of that home. So, you don't want someone that likes the home. You don't want to market this home to somebody that likes it. You want to market to somebody that can't live without it once they find out that it's for sale. So it's what we call the most opportune buyers for a property. Every individual home has certain amenities, certain features that a certain type of person may be very interested in. As an example, if you have a 4-car garage, that's a unique opportunity. And a lot of times that means, of course, it's going to go to someone that has a car collection or multiple vehicles, maybe even toys, like the 4-wheelers or boats or that type of thing. That's who you're going for. Whereas if you had a horse barn, completely different group of people that you should be targeting. You don't just run a magazine ad for something that's very exclusive. If you have a high-end walk-in wine cellar, there are certain people that will pay hundreds of thousands of dollars more because of that feature, whereas others would just say, yeah, it's kind of a nice feature, right? So we want to go to people that literally could not live without this house. They say, I have to have this no matter what the case is. This is the home for me. It checks all the boxes. It's a perfect match for what I'm looking for. So that's who we should be marketing to. So when you're interviewing an agent, you want to see which sources they're using for their marketing list brokers. So there's oftentimes referred as mailing list brokers. Now we refer to them as marketing list brokers because it's online and offline. But a professional marketer is really in the data business and the contacts business. So a good real estate marketer in this luxury and real estate market here, they're really professional marketers. They're in the data and the contacts business. And that's what you should be interviewing for. Again, doesn't matter how big the brokerage is, doesn't matter how many real estate agents they have, because all real estate agents work together around the United States. So a professional marketer is really in the data and contacts business. So the typical luxury real estate agent, they just run basic ads where a third of them is a picture of the real estate agent. Another sixth of the ad, or maybe even another third of the ad, is their logo and their slogan and details about them and their name in cursive, right? But that's why such a significant portion of their homes don't sell at all. They're marketing the wrong thing. So what it does is luxury homeowners recognize who they are, but the people that are already working with them, oftentimes those homes don't sell. So you want to make sure you're working with a real estate agent that understands the target marketing approach specific to the property. Our team here, we focus on exposing the property to the most opportune buyers and creating what we call story selling to get them emotionally attached to this home above all others that they might be looking at. And again, it's called story selling. So the way that we sell this property through story, the highest and best use of the home, how their family would feel if they get into a trophy property like this. There's a very specific approach that we use in exposing it to the most opportune buyers. So as you can imagine, many times a buyer doesn't really need a trophy house, right? It's probably more than they actually need to live or to get by. They don't really need a trophy house or everything that it offers, but they prefer it. And that's why we call it a trophy house, right? When you get into that affluent market, it's an emotional decision. And when they're making an emotional decision, it's something that they have to want to do because they definitely don't need to do it. So a marketer that understands how to promote your home can sell it for more money utilizing these skills, provided they truly know that skill. So if this is the type of language that they're talking when they meet with you, you've got a team that knows what they're doing. If they're just talking about themselves and how big they are or how many homes they've sold or whatever, that's not going to sell your home to the highest, the most qualified and the most opportune buyer, which ultimately means the highest price, of course. So we start by taking a quick tour of your home to determine who is the most opportune buyer. What are some of the features? Like, what are some of the best features that you liked when you first looked at this property? Sometimes we're going to do this, a couple of months in advance of you selling. So you don't want to procrastinate on doing a free walkthrough. Our team does a phenomenal job of, first of all, taking a walkthrough of the home, seeing is there anything we can do to make adjustments or even staging that would help the home to sell for a lot more money. Many times you'll want to do this a month or two in advance of really thinking about selling. We do this completely free of charge and no obligation. So it's wise to go ahead and take advantage of that now. You're not going to get any weird pressure or anything like that. We just want to make sure the home is staged correctly because it's going to make it easier to sell and easier to target the right person. So it's important, if you are thinking about selling a house in that luxury market, you meet with our team here as quickly as you can. We're going to talk a little bit about that in a second, but I want to talk about if you're buying a luxury home, because that really makes a big difference here too. We're not buying a traditional run-of-the-mill house, just a vanilla property. When you're buying in that affluent price range, we do the exact same thing for you here. So you know exactly what you're looking for when you're looking for a certain type of property. This is what I consider luxury. This is what I consider trophy. This is what I consider the best school district or the best neighborhood, or whatever it is that you're looking for. And you know which amenities excite you as well. So you may even know some of the areas that are most exciting for you. And if you don't, by the way, our team has tons of experience here, so we can help you with that as well. But what we do is we can then go out and locate unlisted or pre-market luxury level houses that the owners are willing to sell. As we talked about here, a lot of the best properties never even make it to the open market. So you're likely aware that in the luxury market, there's what we call whisper listings because they don't want their home publicly listed. There's actually homeowners in this area right now that their home's for sale, but it's not publicly listed. It's not exclusively listed with an agent. There's no sign in the yard. And frankly, there's no pictures available. In many cases, they don't want interior photos of their home published on the internet. So these whisper listings become really good opportunities. This is true whether you're selling or buying a home, but particularly when you're buying, you can utilize the access that some of the top producers like our team would have in finding the most opportune sellers that are looking to sell their home. Because frankly, when we find out what you're looking for, we'll invest our own money to go out and find those unlisted homes. So many times in this affluent price range, especially here in this area, these are often very private people. And I'm sure you can imagine that as well, right? You can't just limit yourself to homes that are on the open market. So if you're looking around at Zillow or Realtor.com or anything on the MLS, you're looking at properties that are publicly listed. So you're likely missing out on a bunch of properties. If you're working with an agent that understands target marketing, like our team does here, they will invest a great deal of their own money into finding you the perfect property, even if it is an off-market home. So we always say, whether it's listed or not listed, if it's a resale property or maybe even new construction, there's a lot of luxury in new construction or resale properties that you'll never see on the open market. So we can find you those off-market homes to get you the best selection and, more importantly, the best match for exactly what you're looking for. So our team provides this luxury home search or locator service completely free of charge with absolutely no obligation to ever make a move. So keep in mind, when you're buying a house, you don't have to pay us a commission or pay us in advance or anything like that. You don't even pay us at the closing. It actually comes out of the proceeds of sale. But we give you no pressure to just look around. We know, again, if you're buying in the luxury market, you don't have to buy. You just will if you find the perfect property that really excites you and meets exactly what you're looking for. So you can start looking around with us and we'll do some of this search completely free of charge, absolutely no obligation whatsoever to ever make a move or even to buy with us. So let's face it, you won't want to make a move unless you can't live without the house. And we want to find one that's absolutely perfect for you and for your family's needs so that you can't live without that house. So, the truth is, whether you're selling or buying here in this area, when you get into that luxury market, you don't want to go with a name that you recognize. You want to go with a marketing campaign that nobody else can beat. For your property, you want to make sure you have the best marketing campaign to sell it for the most amount of money. And oftentimes, that marketing plan won't come from a recognized name. It's going to come from a team that really understands that target marketing approach. They market properties rather than marketing themselves. And then when it comes to buying a home, you want to work with someone that understands those off-market or whisper listing properties and can invest some good money into finding those properties for you as well. So a couple of things to think about here. We'll jump back. Let me turn the camera back on here and we'll jump back into it. But I'd really like to get you set up for our team to come out and take a quick look at your home if you do have one to sell, and maybe even do a phone interview if you are thinking of buying as well. So let's turn the camera back on here and we'll jump right back in. All right. So as you can see, when selling your affluent price property, there's a very specific approach you want to utilize, and you definitely want to utilize an agent that understands target marketing to show that property to the most opportune buyers. Now, there could be dozens of reasons you might be looking to sell your home, whether you're moving out of town, out of state, maybe a job relocation. Jan Michael, tell us a little bit about that. Why are a lot of your homeowners looking to make a move at this time?
Well, a few reasons, Greg. One could be maybe a smaller home or a home in a different location with lower taxes or closer to the grandkids. Your needs change as you get older. You don't, most people aren't living in their house till they're dying. So, we're going to find a home that fits your needs better, whether it's out of state or in a different location within the state.
Yeah. And, the key factor is, of course, a lot of people right now are looking to cash out their equity while they can.
Right.
We've always said, we're at the peak of home values. Home values do go up, but they do go down too. We've all seen that over our lifetime. So now's a great time to sell the big house if you are looking to downsize a little bit or retire or relocate. So lots of options available. And here in our office, we have what's called the Dream Home Finder, where we can find a home that better fits your needs and do so with pre-market or off-market properties that nobody else knows about. So you've heard before, you make money when you buy. In this case, we can help you to make more money when you're selling, but also get a great deal when you're buying your next home because you're not going to compete with all the other buyers out there. As you know, there's a whole lot of people that are looking to downsize a little bit or find a home that better fits their needs. Maybe kids went off to college or any number of reasons. You don't want to compete with everyone else. You want to put yourself in a category of one where you're the only buyer that knows that home is for sale. And our Dream Home Finder can make that happen. So, Jan Michael, tell us a little bit about that Dream Home Finder, exactly how it works.
Yeah. So, we narrow down what neighborhoods or towns you want to live in, and we go ahead and find those properties that match the criteria you need, as far as acreage of the property, number of bedrooms needed, all that. And we send out a very catchy offer. Sometimes it's handwritten letters, sometimes it's postcards, sometimes it's calling up the homeowners in the neighborhood and getting you an opportunity to buy a house before it's online and everyone else sees it.
Yeah, and that's really the best way. Again, selling your current home for top dollar, but you wouldn't sell your home at all unless you have a place to move to. So it's completely appropriate to start looking around at homes before you commit to selling your current property.
That's right.
So as promised, we're offering a totally free phone consultation to spend 10 minutes or so on the phone, talk about what your family's goals are, why you're looking to sell the trophy home that you're in now, and what would be a better fit for you. So you'll see a phone numbers listed below. If you reach out to us here, you'll speak with Jan Michael directly. We can talk a little bit about exactly what you'd like to do, where you'd like to move, whether that's local, out of town, or even out of state. We work with thousands of agents around the country that offer that same dream home finder, and you can start shopping for houses before you commit to selling your current one. Now, tell us a little bit about that initial phone call. First of all, is it free of charge, no obligation? And then do you usually tell them what their current home is worth just so they know that number in their back pocket? They've got an offer, or like, how do you usually handle this process in creating a game plan for them?
Yeah, so it all starts with the phone consultation. And then from there, usually we do a preview of the home, see, how updated it is, and see what the condition is. And chances are we've already sold in your neighborhood, so we know exactly what that home's going to go for when it goes on the market. And again, it's free, and we look forward to speaking with you.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is the best way to get started. Again, you should do this maybe 90 days before you're actually looking to sell. Get some good information, get a game plan together so you can capitalize the right way on selling your current home and finding that next property that's a perfect fit for you. So reach out to us here. You'll see the number listed below. We'd love to have a quick 10-minute, 15-minute conversation. I think it'll be very helpful for you and your family as well. Jan Michael, I know you've been crazy busy in today's market. Thanks for taking some time with us today.
Always a pleasure, Greg. Thank you.
Absolutely. We've helped countless luxury homeowners here throughout the greater Princeton area. We'd love to help you and your family as well. So reach out to us here. Maybe we'll be the ones to help you out in making that move. We'll talk soon, and bye-bye for now.